Hey everybody out there in Hot Rod Land, it's Phil coming to you once again from Carcraft Classics. Buckle up, this is going to be a fun video. We've got a really sweet looking 1981 Camaro Z28 to show you. It is really a beautiful car. I love the color combo, the black and gray. It's awesome, awesome car. Picked it up here in Georgia. Couldn't be happier with it. It's got a few issues we have to work out like every classic car, but really a good looking ride. Before we get started with that video, this is Carcraft Classics. We're located at 321 Canton Road. We're in Cumming, Georgia, about 30 miles north of Atlanta. We sell classic cars and trucks. We also do work on them. Let me know if you need something done to your classic. Wheel and tire packages, neon signs, all kinds of cool hot rod themed novelty items. Check us out online at carcraftclassics.com. My name is Phil, I'm the owner here. The number for the shop is 470-239-4977 and my cell number is 770-317-1415. We can also be reached via email at carcraftclassics@gmail.com. And again, be sure to visit us on the web at carcraftclassics.com. I'd appreciate it if you give us a little thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our channel if you like the classic cars and trucks. We try to find the coolest vehicles out there in the Southeast, button them up, and sell them to fans like you all over the country. All right. So again, this is a 1981. I bought it from a gentleman down here in Georgia. He's had it for the last few years, and the guy before him, I believe, was the original owner. Although I have no paperwork to prove that. I believe that's what I was told. I've had it a few weeks now, and I thought we'd get it cleaned up, sent it out for a paint correction. It got about 50% better. As you can see, the car shines like crazy out here in the sunlight. It looks absolutely stunning. But when you get up on close to it, it's got its share of little blemishes, hard water marks or tree sap marks. We had a lot of that, you know, wet sanded, polished and buffed out, but a lot of it still remains. Just to be honest with you guys, if you want this to be the show winner, you may need to paint it. But the way it is, it shines like crazy, like I said, and it looks great. So if you're looking for a driver quality car that's nearly all original in the great, most popular color scheme, was told it's I believe the odometer reads 80 plus thousand miles, and I was told that that's original miles, and this car goes down the road great. When I picked it up from the seller, I drove it, I guess, about an hour to an hour and a half home. AC blasting ice cold, windows down, listening to some rock and roll. Just was like a time capsule. Took me back in time to the 80s. Which, of course, I didn't have one of these in the 80s, but I did dream of owning one of these in the 80s. All right, so let's get up close and personal here. Let's start talking about the details on this car. Okay, so this Z28 has the 350 in it, 5.7 liter 350. It's the factory motor and automatic transmission, turbo 350, 3-speed transmission. It's pretty much all factory under the hood. You know, it's had regular maintenance done. Possibly an AC compressor somewhere along the line. That looks kind of newer. Maybe a brake booster, but that's the original block, original intake. Original core support. You can see the car shows no evidence at all of being in any accidents. Firewall appears to be factory. Got the AC stuff over there, and of course that AC does blow cold, as I mentioned. 350 cubic inch power disc brakes up front, power steering, air conditioning. It's got the proper blue valve covers on it, just like they came from the factory. This here has been capped off because that's for the smog and emissions system. We're going to be plucking that out of there here before you know it. We'll get that out so you don't have to look at that eyesore there. It's got the air induction hood on it, of course, set up for the air cleaner as well, and it does work. The little flapper does work on the car. First one I've had that actually still worked, but that's kind of cool. So again, just kind of a factory engine compartment, nothing over the top, but rust free, and again, no evidence of an accident or anything like that. We put a new underhood mat here, insulated mat. Installed that already, and it hasn't gone through the shop yet, but I'm sure there'll be a sensor or two or something that needs to be replaced. There always is. I think the water pump needs to be replaced, and we're going to take care of that as well. See if I can get that hood down with one hand. She is sweet. Let me see if I can pick up on one or two of those imperfections. Let's see, can you see that on the hood? Right here. So we have marks like that on the hood and on the trunk lid. I don't want to paint the picture that this car needs paint. It doesn't. It shines great, but just for the guys out there that are looking for, you know, top of the line show car, this one, we did spend quite a bit of money sending it to the outside detailer for a paint correction, but again, I'd say it's about 50% better. No rust on this car underneath. Looks like it's had new exhaust, as you can see. Right through there. A 2.5-inch exhaust. It's got a great exhaust note to it. All right. Take a look in the trunk here, and then I'll get that lid down. I'll show you some of those paint imperfections so we can be specific here. Again, rust free. It's got its original quarter panels from GM. It's got the extra rubbers for the T-tops, because of course they always leak. If you know anything about these Camaros and Firebirds of the era, they always leak. We have the original T-top bags. Of course, this being a T-top car. There's the sheet metal here. You can see it is completely rust free underneath the mat. Let's see here. Doesn't need trunk pan, doesn't need floor pans. Car is turnkey, ready to enjoy. Like I said, AC is pumping ice cold. She is pretty. Black and gray with the T-tops. 1981 Camaro Z28. 350, automatic transmission, power disc brakes, power steering, air conditioning. That's it in a nutshell. It's got a banging stereo system in it too. The stereo is really, really good. I'll show you that in a minute. And guess what I have as far as documentation? Aside from the fact that it's got a title, this car, I also have the original build sheet, which I'll show you here in a minute. One of the rare things that this car has on it, I noticed looking at the build sheet, is that it's got those aluminum, cast aluminum wheels. Most of these Z28s of the era, they had those 5-spoke wheels, a little different with the color matched inside. But these are the higher grade or more rare N90. They were designated on the build sheet. These aluminum wheels, you don't see them every day, so it's kind of cool. You know, a rare option from the factory. Super slick. Love that it's black. Love the T-tops. Just got a killer look to it, this car. Absolutely killer look. And the black and gray theme is continued inside. I'll show you that here in a minute. But remember, this was the last year of the second-gen Camaro. So I'd say that puts it in a bit of a rare category as well. You know, first year or last year for any particular era or generation of GM car, you know, adds a little bit of value to the car. Not that this is, you know, some investment grade car you're going to take to Meekum, but man, it's a cool driver and it goes down the road great. I mean, it really drives well. The previous owner also lowered the front end. So if you like that kind of look, we can leave it as is. If the prospective buyer, let's say, wants to go back to factory height, you probably gained an inch or two lowered in the front. And we can certainly go back with factory springs, front and rear, but I think only the front was lowered on this car. So it's just got a little bit more of an aggressive Pro Touring look to it. And we can leave it as is, or like I said, we can certainly get that back to factory height should you desire to have it at that, you know, adjust the stance back to factory. Oh, all right, the blemishes I wanted to show you in the trunk. Just to be honest, you know, I don't want to mislead anybody, but it's got a few of these spots, these hard water or sap marks from a tree. So, you know, hey, it's an 81, it's a 45-year-old car. Wow, that's hard to believe that's that long ago, but anyway, it's a 43, 44-year-old car, so it's gonna have its share of blemishes, but man, this thing looks great going down the road. Check it out. Completely rust-free. Inside, outside, engine compartment, undercarriage. No bubbles in the doors, no bubbles in the fenders, no bubbles in the quarters. Really slick car. Love that front end profile in this car. Just reminds me of high school. So sweet. Pin straight going down the sides. It's got a chip in the windshield. I can easily replace that windshield, or if the buyer doesn't want me to, they can handle it themselves. And I can just knock a couple hundred. I think it's $275 to replace that windshield. I can knock that cost off the price of the car, and you can handle it yourself. But we work with a local guy that is proficient in working with the classics. So I can get that done for you just like anything else. All right. Interior panels. Door panels are brand new. Seat covers, brand new. And what I like what they did here was, again, they carried the black and gray theme throughout the interior when they replaced it. There's that build sheet I was telling you about. Probably hard to see with the video, but I can certainly answer any questions you have about the build sheet or email you a copy of it if you're interested. And again, the N90 wheels are on there. What else is on there? 308 gear in the back. Special performance suspension, I guess that's the Z28 handling package. It's got the sport stripes, the rear spoiler, sport mirrors. Just cool how you could order cars the way you wanted back in the day. Kind of customize them yourself from the factory. Anyway, so we've got black seats with the silver color or gray suede down the center. Really a nice touch. If these cars were lacking anything back in the day, you know, they didn't have the nicest interiors, usually a vinyl seat or something like that, which weren't terrible, but this is just, you know, another level. Dash is new, not cracked up or anything like that. Again, it's an automatic bucket seat car with middle console, power windows, which work great. I don't think the back seat's even been sat in yet. It's like new back there. New carpet kit, new sill plates. Headliner's not drooping down or anything like that. Nothing better than the T-top look. Alright, there's those new sill plates. Rockers are fine. Again, we got a rust-free car here. It's got the 4-spoke Z28 steering wheel. Let's see here. Again, this is an AC car from the factory. The gauges are working, and she shows 81,064 miles. And again, I was told that that is original, but I have no proof. The title says exempt. Bezel's in good shape. Like I said, the dash is new. Got an aftermarket stereo. Again, new seat covers, new door panels. She's slick. She's really, really nice. Let's fire this baby up.
Possibilities.
For a limited time, ask how to get a $500 pay.
Stereo's pretty good. Certainly better than the factory dual knob stereo that came with the car. I will pull the T-tops when I take pictures of the car, and they'll be up on our website at carcraftclassics.com. Don't want to do it now with the video running, but T-tops, of course, are removable. I showed you the bags in the trunk. It's got a pretty good little exhaust tone to it. You can tell the exhaust has been replaced. Good looking ride. 1981 muscle car. No strange noises coming out of the engine compartment, thank goodness. Up, my build sheet is flying away. This is a copy, and I believe the other one I have is all yellowed. It looks aged. It looks like the original. Had that one in the file, and it will come with the, be included in the sale. Got the nice 15-inch BFG radial tires. Again, disc brakes up front. Drums in the rear. Sounds as good as it looks. Ran the Carfax on the car, which is odd for me because most of the stuff I buy is too old for a Carfax. But this being an 81, I was able to pull the Carfax, and shows no accidents or damage, no flood damage or any odometer rollbacks or anything like that. So what you have is a turnkey ready 1981 Camaro Z28 ready to be enjoyed. Now this year for the Camaro was the first year they put on the CCC, the something command center. Essentially what it was is a computer controlled engine, carburetor. There's all kinds of like map sensors and things on the intake manifold. This was the first year they went kind of computerized. So we'll go through all those sensors as well. We'll make sure, nothing snapped off, broken, what have you. We haven't had a chance to go through that, and as you can see, it runs excellent, so I don't expect that there's anything in there that is a problem. But if it needs something, whether it be that or, I don't know, an alternator or a water pump, we'll replace it. We'll make sure it's as sound and road ready as possible without, restoring the whole vehicle. because we don't want to do that and raise the price. And speaking of price, what are we asking on this car? We're asking $29,500. $29,500 is the asking price.